Hello and welcome to the homework helper for section 1.3. Let's go ahead and get this party started quickly. Let's get this party started right. All right, we've got number one here. What we see here is we have a couple things in our exponents. We have a base of 5 being raised to the x plus 1, and then we have a base of 5 being raised to the 2x minus 3. And so if we have the same base and they're equal to each other, then that means their exponents must be the same. So that means whatever x plus 1 is has to be the same as whatever 2x minus 3 is. So x plus 1 has to equal 2x minus 3. And from here we can solve for x. I can subtract x from both sides. I can add 3 to both sides. So I get 4 equals x and I'm done. Okay. So that's all well and good, but let's look at a more complicated problem. I'm going to look at number 3 over here. When I look at number 3, well, now we don't have the same base. But what we're going to have to be able to do is we're going to have to transform that 4 into a base 2. And so 4 as a base 2 would be 2 squared, right? Because 2 times 2 is 4. So if this 4 is 2 squared, and that's all raised to the 3x power, these exponents multiply in on each other. So that's the same as 2 to the 2 times 3x, or just to simplify it even further, 2 to the 6x. Right? 2 times 3 is 6x. And all of that is going to be equal to 2 to the 2x minus 8. At this point, we have the same bases, so our exponents must be the same. So this is going to be 6x equals 2x minus 8. Subtract 2 x's. 4x equals 8. X equals 2. Call it good. Okay, so be looking out for those. Like we can see here, we're going to have to turn that into a base 2. Here, we're going to have to turn this into a base 3. And remember, when it's in the denominator, that means we're going to have a negative exponent of some kind. So this is going to be 3 to the negative something so that it ends up being 81. So be mindful of that. And likewise, this 9, we're going to have to turn into a base 3. Okay. The set problem here, I'm not going to go that deep into it because I feel like this one is really good if you just take your time, read through it, and go over it each question at a time. So this is a good reading comprehension. Read through it, go through the questions, and then when it gives us the questions on the second page, demonstrate how to use this equation to calculate the beanstalk after 6 hours. So just be mindful of time. This would be time, so we'd plug it in for t, and just go through with everything they ask you to do. The one thing that I do want to note is you'll look down here where we start to have f of 7 and the inverse of f of 11,364. So here, this is our traditional input, and here's where the -1 means we've inverted it. So that means we're going to be looking at it with our x's and our y's swapped. So just be mindful of that when you get to these sections. Okay, and then let me just wrap it up here with a very quick one. Evaluating functions. We're given an f of x, we're given a g of x, and we're given an h of x. And again, we're just being asked to plug things in. Plug in a for x, so that's going to be -2a. You plug in a plus b, so this is going to be -2a plus b, or -2a minus 2b. And then f of g of x. Here we're being asked to put one of the equations into the other. Here we're being asked to put our g equation into our f of x equation. So that's going to be -2 times g of x. But we know what g of x is. G of x is 2x plus 5. So this is going to be -2 times 2x plus 5. Simplify, -4x minus 20. And that'll be our answer. So just be mindful of all of those. Be mindful that these are going to be, we're going to have to square our x's. So when we have some with the h of x of f of x, we're going to have to square from there. Actually, let me do that one. Let me do the h of x of f of x. So this is going to be f of x squared plus 3 f of x's minus 10, right? Because we're putting f of x's in for our x's. But our f of x is -2x. So this is going to be -2x squared plus 3 times a -2x minus 10. So now I can simplify from here. -2 squared is 4, x squared is x squared. 3 times negative 2 is negative 6x minus 10. So that would be my answer there. So just be mindful of, oh, you get to see the answer there. Let me move my paper up. So just be mindful of that. Take it one step at a time. Do one line at a time. Be very clear with what you're doing. Use extra sheets of paper if you need to. And then you should be solid on this. Thank you very much, and I will see you next time.